Every sober person faces a moment where the bottle whispers louder than their demons. And some of those whispers, they don't sound weak. They sound familiar. However, truth being told, standing on the edge isn't a failure. The failure was when I listened. This time, I didn't. And that's why we're here today. Because some of you are standing on the same edge that I'm standing on. So take it from a man who almost fell recently. You can step back. You can win this fight. This is episode 10. This is the edge of the bottle.
This is the story of how my dad saved his life. And now, he's fighting every day to save what matters most. His family, his music, and his soul. He's not doing this for fame. He's doing it to prove who he really is. The original punk and roll outlaw, fighting to stay sober, stay strong, and stay standing. This is more than a podcast. This is a war for redemption. This is the story of my dad. Welcome to Louder Than My Demons.
So welcome to the reckoning. This week, I'm just going to say that I am grateful that I'm still sober. The past few weeks have been tough. I let myself overthink, underperform. A couple weeks ago on a Sunday night, I hit a wall that I hadn't hit in a long time. And it's not because I did anything. I didn't drink. I didn't use. So nothing happened, but something almost did. For a year, I've been in fight or flight mode, trying to protect what was left of my life, trying to salvage what was left of my family, trying to worry too much about my reputation, trying to worry too much about somebody who doesn't care about me and probably never did. Trying to understand things that I didn't need to understand. I don't need to fucking know why this happened. I know why it happened. I let my boundaries slip. I drank too much. I used too many drugs. She drank too much. She used too many drugs. She didn't use the drugs she was supposed to be taking. We just let things slip and we forgot to focus on the one thing that really fucking mattered. So every day felt like I was on the defensive, that I was just trying to survive. My nervous system is fucking shot. A friend of mine, Andy, lives in Cincinnati, was dealing with some of the same stuff, and we talked about it a little bit. And I've been saying for a while that I felt like I was being worn thin. One of my favorite lines from a song ever is from The Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots. And I know that it came from Scott Weiland because it's how he actually felt. But he said, He's been doing too much tripping and his soul's worn thin. And this year, my soul has felt thin since January, when I got out of jail the first time. And it hasn't gotten better. And every time that I think it's getting better, and every time all these things that I'm doing to survive give me a sense of pride or accomplishment, then I realize there's nothing to be proud of. This is what I have to do as I survive. This is what I need to do. I haven't accomplished anything other than surviving. And that's what my 5S's are all about, is surviving. And, I've been doing this with my fists fucking clenched all the time. In AA, they say when you don't have a counselor or a sponsor and you're not doing the steps, that you're white knuckling it. I haven't been white knuckling my sobriety until recently. I've been white knuckling life. Just holding on. Hoping that somebody will give me some fucking answers as to why. It doesn't even matter why anymore. It doesn't matter. And, going to jail was tough. And then I did what I had to do. I didn't want to do it. Didn't want to plead guilty. Shouldn't have pled guilty. But I did it for my daughter. I did it for my son. So I did it. And then recently I got some news that I wasn't prepared for and that I'm not going to talk about right now. And it opened every fucking door back open. All the emotions, all the feelings, right back to the beginning. It's been almost a year, and yeah, I'm sober, and yeah, I'm healthy, and I've got a good life coming that I'm building from scratch again. But when this landed on me, it was heavy. And it just made me think, what the fuck? And one of the things they talk about in my IOP that I went to and the relapse prevention program that I am finally back in is getting a case of the fuck it's, where you say, fuck it, I'm sick of this, or fuck it, I'm sick of that, or fuck it, who even cares? I didn't get a case of the fuck it's, but that night I had the thought, I just, fuck it, I could drink. Who's gonna fucking notice? I could drink and I could lie, not tell people, or I could drink and I could come on here and tell people that I drank and had a relapse. People have relapses every day. And then I started thinking, if I have a drink and I don't tell people, then I'm lying, and I don't want to start lying. I don't want to lie anymore ever again. If I have a drink, I'm going to hurt myself. I think that worried me more. Was that if I had a drink, I might do something that got me into trouble. As far as driving or making a phone call or drinking too much and doing something here. And so I started thinking about it, and I didn't want to do that. I started thinking about the people that love me. And I just knew that I was scared when I felt like this. I knew that it comforted me for a second, and that scared me worse than anything. I knew I'd let myself down, I'd let my daughter down, and I would let my family down if I did it. I was just looking for an escape from how I felt that night. How I felt at that particular moment. And I didn't want that. I didn't want it. I found myself pacing like a man trapped in his own skin. I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't sure how I was going to survive this night alone. I wasn't sure how I was going to survive this night without a bottle, without a drink, without a line. How was I going to do it? And was I going to do it? Was I going to let down the people that fucking loved me? I didn't want to. I didn't want to, but I couldn't slow my thoughts down. I tried everything. I tried my coping skills. I touched stuff to try and ground myself. I prayed. I meditated. I prayed some more. None of that was working. Nothing was working. My mind just wouldn't slow down. I kept thinking to myself, I just can't take this anymore. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I didn't really want to drink. I just wanted some silence. I didn't want to do cocaine. I just wanted some peace and fucking quiet. The stuff that I dealt with over the last 3 years since I first started getting abused until now had worn me out. The alcoholism and the cocaine use had wore me out. I felt Scott Weiland's words right here in my soul as I felt thin and worn and beat. I'd been in flight or fight mode for so fucking long, I didn't know how to survive without it. 30 days in jail set everything in my life back. Everything. I lost my job. I lost my car. I wasn't able to work out properly. I couldn't eat well. I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't think well. The only thing I did better was pray better. I was able to pray better, but I wasn't able to meditate much in there. Silence is not something that comes in a county jail. And I was just fucking worn out a couple weeks ago. It started hitting me. I'd accepted the fact that I pled guilty to something I don't believe that I did. I accepted the fact that this woman that I love so much was gone forever. And that she hated me now. I accepted all of that. I accepted the fact that I was going to have this on my record the rest of my life. But I did it because of how much I love my daughter and because of how much I love my son and because I had to move on. And that was my fucking plan, was to move on. And then something happened that opened everything back up. Something heavy landed on me. And what this brought with it wasn't weakness. It was utter exhaustion. I was fucking tired. I was fucking beat. I was wore out. And what do? My brain reaches for the oldest lie that it had ever been told. The lie that I've been telling it since I was 13 or 14 years old and had my first drink. Hey, let's get a drink. It'll at least calm you down tonight. It'll at least get you through tonight. But we know what that does, right? That leads to, well, fuck it, right? Fuck it. If I can have a drink tonight, then I might as well have a drink tomorrow. One drink's not going to hurt tomorrow. One drink's not going to hurt on Tuesday. One drink's not going to hurt on Wednesday. Next thing you know, you're having a drink every night. Next thing you know, I'm back to where I was. I don't want that. I didn't want it that night. I just wanted my brain to stop. I wanted to not be so tired and sad and lonely and broke down. That's all I wanted. I wanted it over. And it wasn't over. And the bottle kept saying, I'll quiet this. I'll take care of it for you. I'll handle this. I just want everything to be over. I just want to be moving on. And I'm back to ground zero. That's okay. That's okay. What I have found and what I am realizing is that you can only live on defensive moves for so long. Eventually, that armor collapses. You collapse. I collapsed. I laid on that couch and I thought, why? Why? And I hate that fucking couch. But why? Why am I doing this to myself? First off, number one, why am I worried about her? Right? She hates me. She doesn't care about me. If she ever did, she doesn't now. So why was I worried about her? Okay, so that's one. Calm that down. I talked to some friends. I reached out to some family members. Talked to them. Not necessarily about what was going on with me, but just talked. Just to feel close to somebody. So as I finally started calming down that night, I had some emergency prescription that helps me calm down when I have to have it, when I can't get away from these feelings. And I don't like to use it, but I used it. And I got calmed down and I got tired and I was ready to go to bed. And I was mad at myself. And the bottle's whispering in my ear, hey, I can help you with this more than anybody else. And then I looked at it and I said, not you, not again. When I said that, I actually said in my head, not you, not again. I'm not going to let alcohol get the best of me again. I'm not going to let my past relationship get the best of me again. And that's the moment that everything changed, is when I said that. Because I realized my nervous system wasn't broken. It was just exhausted. It was overloaded. And I realized that alcohol doesn't fix overload. It feeds it. The only thing that pulled me back is the 5 S's. Sobriety kept me grounded. Spirituality reminded me that I wasn't alone. Self-care helped me find balance by the end of the night and into the next morning. Strength became more important after that night because I realized I had let it slip the last couple weeks. Especially when I was locked up and all I could do was push-ups and some dips. It's not the same. And songwriting is what guides me, grounds me, and brings my spirit back to life. And so as I said those words to myself, not you, not again, I wrote it in my journal, and then I wrote it as a song. I'll play that song in a little bit. It's definitely one of my favorites through all of this. These are the reasons I'm still here. And that's the reason that we're doing episode 10, The Edge of the Bottle. Okay, so let's talk about some of the tools that I used or I'm using in order to claw my way out of this broken nervous system. These tools are what I've talked about on this show since episode 1. The 5 S's. Sobriety, spirituality, self-care, strength and conditioning, and songwriting. The first one is sobriety, and it's the most important because it's the anchor and the foundation for everything else. If I don't maintain my sobriety, I'm probably not going to practice the other 4 because I didn't do that very well before. So it's the anchor, it's the foundation. And you know, that Sunday when I had these issues proved something to me that I already knew, that the edge is always there. And how close I got to that edge was up to me. But so is the choice to not cross that edge. And that choice to me is my sobriety. I take that choice every day when I say I'm not going to drink today. And that's all it takes is to start a little streak. And that's to say, I'm not going to drink today. I didn't drink, and that's the most important battle I've had this year. Second is spirituality, and that's my compass. It's not necessarily religion, although I read the Bible on a regular basis now, or I read my daily devotional, or I have an app that I love to use that gives me some prayers and some conversations I can have with myself over this. I enjoy doing that. But when I shut down spirituality-wise, everything else suffers. All 5 of these S's are so intertwined with each other. It's so important to rely on each of them because they make the other one stronger. Spirituality isn't necessarily religion. It's a connection. It's knowing that somebody else is there or something else is there to listen to me and to guide me. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still an infant when it comes to spirituality. I enjoy reading the Bible. I need to pray. Prayer does an amazing thing for me. It gives me 5 minutes of quiet when maybe I can't find it in any other way. It's so helpful to me. And I don't want this to sound like some cheesy, oh, he found God and he's this and he's that. That's not me. I always believed in God. I didn't practice it. I always believed in God. I just didn't want to pay attention to what was there. Now I do. Now I pay attention. Now I have seen enough over the last year where I was guided through situations that before I would have tried to take hold of and force it this way and it's going to go like this and this is what's going to fucking happen. And now when I can't control something, I let it go. And when I let it go, somehow it seems to work through it. Whether it's the answer I wanted or whether it's the decision that I wanted, somehow it seems to work. It may just be one prayer, it may be one breath, it may be one moment where I'm not alone, but spirituality offers that to me. And that's the compass that points me in the right direction. Now, self-care. I've said this a million times. Self-care is not being a pussy. Self-care is not me with a ponytail and pajamas and a robe and some incense sitting there with my legs. Well, I mean, I do all that stuff sometimes, but that's not what it's about. It's not about giving up your masculinity, let's say that. It's about taking care of yourself. Obviously, it's called self-care. It's about doing things that give you some peace of mind. To me, that's what it is. Meditation gives me peace of mind. Whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 30 seconds of breathing, whether it's a 15-minute guided meditation and a visualization meditation, whether it's some focus time before I have a project I'm working on, whatever it might be, self-care does that for me. Self-care includes so many things, but the most important to me is a little peace of mind and a little quiet. And that's the front line of what I do. If I give myself those moments and I create that peace of mind, it becomes easier for me to pray. And all of this leads back to it being easier to stay sober and to survive. Now, strength is the engine. And the engine is what you put in your body. It's what you put your body through. It's what you put your mind through. It's what you put into your mind. It's not just about lifting weights. It's not just about riding that bike over there or walking with the dog or walking or running or whatever you like to do. It's not just about that. If you're going to do the strength and conditioning, you got to eat right. If you're not eating right, like I wasn't eating right, you get bloated and you get fat and you get unhappy and you're not thinking properly. Sugar makes me think or makes my mind clouded. So the couple weeks after I got out of county jail and I wasn't eating properly, even though I was trying to, I was letting myself snack at night. And then I woke up and I wasn't thinking properly, or I was sluggish when I woke up and I wasn't drinking enough water. And I have to drink more water, and I have to eat better, and I have to eat leaner meats, and I have to eat less carbs, and I have to do all these things. And I just rebuilt my gym in the basement. And you guys are going to see a little video about that here in a couple weeks when we talk about strength and conditioning for a full episode. But those things will help me because it's another place where I can get some quiet time and some peace of mind. And it's another form of self-care. And all of those things lead to self-care being easier, to spirituality being easier, to sobriety being easier. And then, of course, songwriting is the lifeline. Songwriting is my favorite of the S's. All of them are important, but songwriting is my favorite. And songwriting does not have to be songwriting for you. It can be anything. I've said this before. If you like pottery, but you're being creative, that's what matters. If you are into painting, or you are into writing poetry, or you are into writing novels, you want to write a novel? Write a novel. Even if you don't finish it or you don't like it, write it because it's an outlet. What we're finding here is some sort of creative outlet that helps relax your mind. If you journal, that helps and that counts. Anything you do that's creative, anything you do that makes you feel better and makes you happy, that's what songwriting is. Yeah, I've written, 90 some songs now this year? Are all those songs going to get released or whatever? No. But 3 of those songs are going to be played when we have our comeback show in January. And I'll talk more about that as the date gets closer. 3 of those songs are brand new, and we're going to play them that night. The song that I'm going to play tonight, Not You, Not Again, I'm going to record that separately. It's going to be probably on the Josie Cole country southern rock album that I'm doing. But songwriting is important to me. And those couple weeks before this happened, I hadn't been doing a lot of that. And now I have. Since that night that I had that meltdown, I have written 4 quality songs. 4 quality songs. Redline, Louder Than Sin, Not You, Not Again, and Goodbye. All quality songs. I also started writing some of the beds you hear underneath the podcast, and I'll be doing some more for this, creating my own musical beds so I don't have to get in trouble with Spotify or YouTube every week for using other people's stuff. Spotify doesn't even want me to put Sin City Outlaw and my own songs up there. I have to prove to them that I wrote them. I'm working on that right now. So if you use Spotify, I will be doing some upgrades on Spotify. I know there's some issues with sound, and that's because they were muting some stuff and they were holding some stuff back. So I'm going to be reissuing some of them on Spotify. Even with the problems I've had, I got a thing from Spotify today that said that my podcast is in the top 25% of all new podcasts for 2025. That we had, the numbers that we had, which were not amazing on there, but were solid. And that, we continue to put out episodes and people continue to follow us. And so I'm going to ask you in the next couple of weeks, even if you follow me on YouTube and you don't use Spotify or Apple, go follow me over there. It helps. It helps. I'm hoping season 2 that I might be able to get some sponsorships going. And it can help. This episode today helped bring music back to me. And I have a whole bunch of ways I'm going to be doing that. And you're going to hear more and more about them. I got a couple radio interviews coming up in January when my birthday happens and we release Ghost and The Devil's Gonna Win are both coming out in January, as well as the full EP will be available for download and to listen to on Spotify and Apple and everywhere. It'll be on, I think it's already on Bandcamp, but you'll be able to get it everywhere. And then, of course, the live album will be done. I promise. The live album will be done soon. These 5 S's intertwine in such a way that when you play basketball, you may not have the 5 best players in the league on your team, but those 5 players complement each other in such a way. Anybody ever watch The Other Guys? The lime complements the water in such a way. If you haven't seen it, go watch The Other Guys. It's one of the underrated, most hilarious movies that Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg have ever done. I love that movie. My son loves that movie. Those players complement each other. One guy may be a great passer but can't shoot for shit. Another guy may be a great dribbler and a great passer but can't shoot. Or another guy may be just an awesome 3-and-D, right? He can play defense and he can shoot from the outside. And then you probably got a 7-footer inside that is a great rebounder and pass blocker. They may not be the best at their positions, but together they complement each other in a way that makes them stronger. And that's what the 5 S's do for me. And the 5 S's got me through this year. And, when I was thinking about what I've gone through this year, and I was lamenting the fact that I went through all this and then still pled guilty. And I wasn't happy, and I was sad, and I felt guilty to myself. I let myself down. Last week I had my daughter over for a couple days for Thanksgiving. And we were laying on the couch and we were playing and we were tickling and we were laughing. And she loves to be tickled, and she was just giggling and just having a blast. And she looks at me and she says, "Daddy, I'm so glad I get to come home and see you again. I love you so much." And she just gave me a big hug. And it's because we were having a good time. And we had a great time. We had a great 3 days. It was amazing. And then last week, my friend Stacy and I went up to see 3 bands at the Agora. And one of those bands was Seven Kingdoms, and the drummer from that band is my son Colton, who I can't tell you how proud I am of. The man he's proved to me this year that he is by sticking through this with me. The fact that he remains so loyal to me. And even he's one of the few people that heard both sides of the story. He heard it directly from her, and he heard it directly from me. And then he heard that side of the story change, and he never heard my side of the story change. He heard things get added to that as we were going through the legal process. He never heard anything change on my side. And he became more and more loyal to me and loving me more and more. And without him, I would not have survived this year. I would not have made it through that first week of jail. That's for sure this year, or this last time. Because he had to do things for me or else I might have lost my house. Lost my dog. All that kind of stuff. He was on tour with Seven Kingdoms, and I was standing there and I was watching him. And the crowd reacted to everything that he did. And the people around me that didn't know that he was my son were freaking out about him. And when they found out he was my son, because either I told him or Stacy told him, Stacy was running around telling everybody. It was awesome. I got to see him, and had I not pled guilty, who knows if I'd have been here for that. Would I have been found guilty or not? I mean, I'd like to think I wouldn't have been, but we don't know what a jury would say, right? We don't know who would have lied on the stand. So I made the right move for those 2 nights. All of this was worth it for those 2 nights. For the fact that my daughter can now text me on her own phone and talk to me whenever she wants, and will just send me silly little pictures of a dog or something, I don't know, and just say, "Hi, Daddy, I love you." Or the other day on Thanksgiving, she messaged me and said that her cousins were chasing her and she was hiding. And while she was hiding, she decided to text me. Things like that are awesome, right? Seeing my son and his hometown show and knowing that there's 40 people there to see him. His whole family was there. And then all of his friends from the upper deck were there. And I was overwhelmed for him, but he told me he wasn't overwhelmed at all, that this is what he wanted. He wanted a homecoming show. But getting just a couple minutes with him that night to talk to him afterwards, and then getting to talk to one of his bandmates who is taking him under his wing, Cam, who is a great guy. And Cam, if you ever listen to this, man, I told you that night, but I just want you to know how much I appreciate you being there to help him. I've been lucky. Curran took him under his wing, got him started, taught him how to be a professional. Jeremy from Inhuman Condition and Terry Butler and Taylor have taken him under their wing and showed him how to be a professional and how to get up even when you might not be playing in front of a ton of people. And Seven Kingdoms has taken him and showed him what it's like to play on the stages he should be playing on, and how to put on a show that's bigger than life. He's got that Zeitler in him. He gets up there and he's a rock star. It's just by nature. He's just got it. He has it. And I'm just very proud of him. And I rambled there, I told you, Michelle, I ramble when I do this. But knowing that I was there because I took the plea deal that I didn't want to take and that I've been upset about helped ease some of that pressure off of me. The plea deal was not something I wanted. And I wish that I could take it back, but I can't. However, I get moments like that, and then I realize that it's worth it. And without those 5 S's, I might have ruined it before that. I might not have been able to get my daughter. Because if people thought I was drinking, that's not happening. I'd let my son down if I started drinking again. I don't want to do that. I'd let myself down more than anything. I would let myself down, and I don't want to do that either. I'm proud of where I am. I'm not proud of this year. Let's be clear. I'm 11 months sober now. I'm back at ground zero. We'll see where things go from here. I'm back in therapy. Finally got to see Andy, and I get to see him again tomorrow. I'm back in my relapse prevention program. It took me a minute to get insurance set up and all that kind of stuff, but I'm back in there. So I went to see Madison and the group tonight. I am back in AA. Whenever I can get to AA, I go to AA. I rebuilt my gym inside in the basement so I can work out all winter. I've had decent workouts. Tomorrow I'll be able to have a great workout. I'm back to work. I'm not making any money yet, but I'm back to work. I'm going into the studio tomorrow to work on some guitar necks and do some stuff so that I can finally start working with customer stuff. I get to do this podcast every week. Plus the reviews, the Demon Cuts. If you haven't watched the Demon Cut, you should go watch them. They're fun. They're fun, and they tie into what we're doing here. I talk about why the albums hit me this year and what they, how they helped me through this. It's not just me talking about Motley Crue album or a Metallica album. All these albums have something to do with either me getting sober this year and surviving because of them, or the band members dealing with sobriety issues and surviving the albums. But they're pretty interesting, and people are starting to notice them. I'm proud of where I am right now. I've got a long way to go. I can't have nights like I had a couple weeks ago. The edge of the bottle is not where I want to be, and it's not where I have to live. I am going to make it through this. I'm surviving. I'm sober. I've got my children in my life, make me happy. I've got my band coming back stronger than ever. Stronger than ever. I've got my podcast growing on a daily basis. I've got my lovely Miss Edie Van Halen over there. I've got my best friend Stacy, who jumps up to help me anytime that I need it. Whether it's with an ass chewing, telling me what to do, telling me what not to do, or just loving me. I've got my friends, I've got my family. I'm gonna be okay. That night shook me up. I'm still shook up over the last 2 months because I haven't healed from going to jail and from everything that I lost. That's going to be phase 3 right now, is getting over everything that I lost and everything that has affected me the last couple months. And hopefully eventually getting over her. It's not linear. comes and goes. There are days that I want to talk to her. There are days that I want to never see her, hear her name again. In our meetings tonight, there was a lady who was not happy being sober. And I understood that. Sobriety has not been all fun this year. But sobriety has allowed me to have moments that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't got sober. I wouldn't have appreciated if I hadn't got sober. I appreciate the moments like with my daughter a couple weeks ago. I appreciate the moments like watching my son play drums the other night, spending that time with my best friend, who was every bit as excited as I was for what he is accomplishing. And he's nowhere near where he's going to be, and neither am I. I got a feeling 2026 is going to be a better year for me. There's some things going to happen that are going to be great. I know that. It's going to be great. 5 S's: sobriety, spirituality, self-care, strength and conditioning, songwriting, or any kind of creativity you like. Try it. I don't offer a 90-day give me money back guarantee or anything like that. But I do offer this. It's helped me. And I think it can help you. And on this show, we don't just recover, we recover loud. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're too loud. Quit talking about that shit. Quit being proud that you're getting sober, any of that stuff. Recover loud. Louder than your demons. Welcome to the Beyond the Songs section of this show. Whenever I do these, I try and bring a song of mine that maybe was influenced by the episode that we're on, or something that I wrote through this year, or something that I've written in the past that still hits kind of home. This is the first time that I actually sat down and wrote a song for an episode. And this song came from that night that I was having the issues and the breakdown. And I said to myself, and I said to booze, and I said to everything that's been breaking me down this year in general, not you, not again. I'm not letting you get the best of me this time. Not this time. And so I wrote this song. It's called Not You, Not Again. Got kind of a Zeppelin-y Black Crowes thing to it. I don't know if it's going to be a Corruption song or if it's going to be a Josie Cole solo album song. I'm not sure yet. But I dig it. I hope that you guys dig it. So I'm going to play a little bit of it, and we'll see how it goes, okay? Here we go. the weight on my back. That Sunday hit me like a train off the track. I signed the paper buried deep in regret. It's the truth, I still ain't faced it yet. I hear the shadows start to call my name. Whiskey on the counter, pouring gas on my shame. I felt that poison crawling under my skin. Won't let that demon drag me down once again. The bottle said, boy, won't you come on in? Just one little taste and let the numbness begin. I clenched my jaw, stood tall and I said, not you, not again. I thought we had this talk. I thought I told you to walk away. I thought I told you to run. I told you we were done. You keep dragging me back again. But not you, not you, not again. My bed, her voice is dark and singing in my head. My love don't die, it just lives in the blood. Some nights the silence feels colder than stone. I miss her smile, but I don't miss the pain. Don't miss drowning in that hellfire rain. And she's my demon, drag me in, but I know I'll never walk that road again. The bottle said, boy, won't you come on in? Just one little taste and let the numbness begin. I clenched my jaw, stood tall and I said, not you, not again. Thought we had this talk. I thought I told you to walk away. I thought I told you to run. I told you we were done. You keep dragging me back again. But not you, not you, not again. To my knees when the light cut through. My Bible open like it already knew. The words in red said, son, this ain't your end. So rise up now and let the healing begin. I felt his grace moved away from my chest. A new fire where the pain used to rest. Well, I ain't perfect, hell, I ain't even close. But I'm walking this road and know I'm never alone. 'Cause not you, not again. Thought we had So that's Not You, Not Again. It's a new song that I really enjoy. The words mean a lot to me. The song means a lot to me. I don't write a lot of chilled, kind of laid back songs. I still don't know where this one will end up, but I really dig it so far. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Hopefully you like it. If you don't, I understand, but hopefully you like it. Thanks. That Sunday showed me something I didn't want to see, that the edge is still there, that the whispers are still there, and the weight I've been carrying finally crushed my nervous system. But it also showed me something else, something far more important, that I'm stronger than I used to be. Because even when I break down, I don't give up. The 5 S's, they pulled me back. Sobriety, spirituality, self-care, strength and conditioning, and songwriting. These are not just ideas or words I made up. They are the tools that saved me this year and have got me through this past month and a half. And the truth is, I'm still rebuilding and still rewiring. Still shaking on some days. I'm still fighting to get my discipline and my motivation back. But I am fighting. And today, I'm one day stronger than I was. And if you're standing on your own edge, don't quit on yourself. You are not alone in this. This is louder than my demons. And we don't break easily.